What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel, guys. Tonight we have Monday Night Football picks. I have my three free plays for y'all for Monday Night Football. But before we get into today's picks, all right, a couple quick things. Guys, I'm taking tonight's picks on Betr. You guys, new users can use my code TEACH10 when you sign up. You'll get a free $10 just for signing up and up to $200 bonus on your first deposit when you do decide to deposit into the app if you want to. Also, Betr's going to give you an Aaron Rodgers free square for Monday Night Football, so he only has to throw for one passing yard and you already cash or boost your multiplier. So if you like my picks or you don't like my picks, you want to swap one out or you want to add it in, use this Aaron Rodgers free square to boost your multiplier. All right, guys? Now, if you're not using Betr, you guys can also use Chalkboard, same code, TEACH10. You'll get up to 100% deposit match, so that's $100 bonus cash when you do deposit. Also, Chalkboard's giving you free daily drops where they give you profit boosts like all the time, so be on the lookout for that every single day. They're giving you a ton of value. It's really cool stuff that they're doing over there. All right. Now, before we get into tonight's picks, let's do a quick recap of our picks from NFL Sunday. All right. Guys, I can't believe it, but every single play hit except for the one best play that I gave out, which was the Joe Burrow passing yards. The Bengals looked absolutely terrible against the Ravens, and even though the Bengals were down by so much and they were trying to pass to get back into the game, they couldn't even do that. Their offense was just abysmal today. Couldn't score any points against the Ravens defense that has not been good all year. Just very frustrating to see. Amon-Ra St. Brown, had a career day. He went for like 160-something yards, 2 touchdowns, went way over his targets line. Rico Dowdle went over his rushing attempts line pretty easy. Travion Henderson had a monster day, rushed for like over 140 yards today. And Kenny Pickett went under his completions line. I think I said I would have been surprised if he hit 14 or 15 completions, and I think he hit 15 exactly. So he did go under. Knew that was going to happen. But, man, would have really loved to get Joe Burrow in there, too, to get all 5 to green us out. But I'm 4-1 from NFL Sunday, and I'm 3-1 on college basketball the day before, guys. I'm on a 7-2 run. I'm pretty hot. I've been switching some things up a little bit just to mix it up a little bit and get you guys some better plays. Hoping you guys will cash out a little bit more. But anyways, enough yapping. Let's get into today's picks. My favorite play for Monday Night Football, Devon Achane over 78.5 rushing yards. Do not overthink this play. This line is way too low. He's hit the 7 out of his last 10 games where he's averaging 97.9 rushing yards per game in his last 10 games. He's basically averaging 100 rushing yards per game. In his last 4, he hasn't gone under 90. Why is this line so low against the Steelers defense that is 21st in the league in rushing yards allowed? They give up over 125 rushing yards per game. And against running backs, they're giving up over 105, almost 106 rushing yards per game. That's 24th in the league. Is there something I'm missing here? No. The Steelers defense is this bad, just overall, both against the pass and against the run. Devon Achane should have a career day. It's like he'll be back on the track field, running all over this field. I wouldn't be surprised if he breaks off like a 50, 60-yard rushing touchdown tomorrow. He's going to hit this like with ease. Like, I wouldn't be surprised. He could cash this in the first half. He can cash this on the first drive. Hell, this is way too easy. Devon Achane over 78.5 rushing yards. Best play of the day. My favorite play. Next pick, Jalen Waddle over 7 targets. Bit of a weird line at 7 exactly and not the half at 6.5 or 7.5. But here's why. He's only hit this in 3 out of his last 10 games, so you're probably like, oh, that's not great. But he is averaging 6.9 targets over those last 10 games, so he's pretty much right at that line. And 3 of the last 4 games, he's finished right at 7 targets. So with this line at 7, we do get a little bit of insurance, meaning if he ends up right at 7 targets, we don't lose. We just don't get the boosted payout from this extra pick. So we get a little bit of insurance with it. So I'm okay with taking it at 7. I'd even be okay at 7.5, but obviously you lose out on a little bit of value there. And he's had 3 games of these last 10 where he's gone for 9, 8, and 9. So, I'm not really concerned. I mean, look at this target receptions to target share. That's kind of why I didn't go the receptions route, even though I think his line's at 4.5 and he averages 4.3. So, yeah, sometimes I don't necessarily trust Tua with the most accurate passes as well. But if he's throwing it to Jalen Waddle's way, I think we'll be all right. I think Jalen Waddle's going to have a good day, going to get open. I almost thought about taking the receiving yards prop, but just with Tua being the quarterback, that's why I'm going with the targets and not the actual receptions or the yards. Again, the Steelers defense, third worst in the league in terms of receiving targets allowed. So teams are looking to dot up the Steelers defense the entire game. Look at this. Almost 36 receiving targets allowed per game. I mean, Jalen Waddle is the top receiver on this team now that Tyreek Hill's been out. So he's the main guy that Tua is going to look to throw to. So he's gonna go over the 7 line. I don't care that it's right at 7 exactly. That doesn't scare me at all. Jalen Waddle will go over in this game. He's probably going to finish with exactly 8 targets. That's how this works. He's going to finish with 8. So that's what we're thinking there. All right. Now, guys, before we head into the last pick, okay, if you are not tracking your picks already, let me zoom out a little bit. If you're not tracking all of your picks that you're taking, you guys need to get on Pickit, all right? If you guys don't know what Pickit is, it's an app where you can sync up all of your sports books that you use to bet on sports across daily fantasy sports, whatever you like to bet on. You can sync it up to Pickit, sync up all your sports books. You can track how well you're doing so you actually know the real data on your picks. You guys can use my code TEACH10, same as all the other platforms. New users that sign up to Pickit are going to get $3 or $100 directly to their Venmo or PayPal. All right? So this app is literally paying you to sign up, all right? Who doesn't take at least $3 free or even a shot at $100? I'll take that all day. All you have to do, download Pickit, use my promo code TEACH10, sync up a sportsbook that you have that has at least 10 bets placed on it, and you'll get that deposit into your account. All right? Now, let's hit into this final pick, shall we? Okay. Third pick of the night, Kenny Gainwell, over 22.5 receiving yards. Don't overthink this one either. All right. He's gone over this line in 6 out of his last 10 games where he's averaging 25.6 receiving yards per game. You can see in the last 4 he's gone over. Had a monster game against the Bengals where he went for 81 receiving yards. Against the Bengals team that's pretty bad overall. We all know. Well, I talked about the Bengals earlier. Enough of that. But against this Dolphins defense, they are top 10 in terms of receiving yards allowed. So they are a top 10 receiving yard team defense. However, against running backs, they're much worse. So they defend well against receivers and tight ends, but not as well against running backs. 23rd in the league, so bottom third, allowing almost 34 receiving yards per game to the running back position. If the Steelers are throwing ball to a running back in this game, it's Kenneth Gainwell. Yes, they do throw to Jalen Warren occasionally, but Kenneth Gainwell is the guy that they're throwing to out of the backfield the majority of the time. Also, Kenneth Gainwell is the second leading player on the Steelers in terms of target share at 15%. Excuse me. DK Metcalf is obviously first, Kenneth Gainwell, and then there's not really a close third. So, what does that tell you? It tells you the Steelers are looking to actually use Kenneth Gainwell out of the backfield in the passing game. That's part of their scheme and their playbook, right? It's not just like a few games, like we're going to just do this game for Kenneth Gainwell. No, it's like pretty much every game they're doing it to him, right? They're feeding him, right? He's catching 90% of his targets, so he's getting at least 4 catches a game, right? I love that, all right? Average yards per reception is 5.5, so multiply that by 4, that's like 20, so that puts us a little under the line, but if we're being honest, Kenneth Gainwell, you get him some space, make one guy miss, he can hit this on one catch, literally. I mean, he's kind of proven that here, like 81 yards, he's able to do it. He's able to go over this line. Just get him in open space once or twice. We cash this easy, all right? All right, so I love these 3 plays. Let's quickly recap before we get out of here. All right, my favorite play of the night, Devon Achane, over 78.5 rushing yards. Jalen Waddle, over 7 targets. Kenneth Gainwell, over 22.5 receiving yards. Guys, I hope you've been enjoying these videos. I love putting out this content for you every single day, just taking some picks. It's fun to watch and get a rooting interest in some games that you otherwise maybe wouldn't want to watch. So please like, comment, subscribe to these videos. That would really help me out, and I really would appreciate that. Also, the links to Betr and Chalkboard, Pickit. Oh, I got to add Pickit in there. But Chalkboard and Pickit or Chalkboard and Betr, excuse me, will be in the link in the description to this video below. Also, my Winnable store will be attached as well. It'll also be in the pinned comment, so you go check that out. Guys, in my Winnable store, you can literally sign up for free, right? You get my best free player of the day. So that would be my Devon A-Chain pick. I give that out before every video that I drop, my best free play. So you guys can get that out early before the video comes out, so you can make your picks beforehand. All right, that's all I have for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you tomorrow for NBA Tuesday picks.